Okay. Oh shit! I had an opening and I forgot to write it down.
Oh,
fuck!
You want me to do an opening? I can do it. I can do an intro.
Don't do ChatGPT again.
No, I'm not gonna do ChatGPT this time. I got an intro. Hello, comic fans. Welcome back to episode 2 of Marvelocity, where we overanalyze Marvel movies in chronological order, except each time we successfully make a Family Guy cutaway gag, we speak 1% faster. I'm Jackson.
I'm Aubrey.
And this week we are reviewing the January 29th, 1980 Bride of the Incredible Hulk.
No, that's not a movie.
Yes, it is.
It is? What the fuck are you talking about?
You haven't heard of the 1980 Bride of the Incredible Hulk? That's the movie I watched.
Oh no. This is going to be a very hard episode to record.
No. I'm good. I watched the 2008 Incredible Hulk film. You're okay.
This is Marvelocity, a show where we talk about all of the MCU movies and TV shows.
Oh god, TV shows.
I'm so excited for Daredevil, and I'm dreading everything else.
Yes.
Looking at the chronological order, we got like 3 Netflix show seasons in a row at one point, and I'm dreading that. I think we've got like Jessica Jones season 2, and then Luke Cage and Iron Fist, like one after the other.
Oh, this should be the most amazing. So
It should be considered cruel and unusual punishment.
I lied, everyone. Today we're doing the 2008 Incredible Hulk, directed by Louis Leterrier or whatever, written by Zach Penn, Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby, of course, with Edward Norton as the Incredible Hulk.
Did you just call him N-word Norton?
No, Edward Norton.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Come on now.
That's insane. Okay,
we should get right into it. Yeah?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So you want to start off with the plot and the writing of the show?
Yeah, I'll talk about
Or
the
actually,
plot.
you want to summarize it first.
Yeah, I'll just go over like my really basic thoughts. I don't know why I specified in the outline I gave you that I would be summarizing. I think it's both of us just giving very basic thoughts.
Yeah, fair enough.
I thought the movie was better than I remembered it being.
Who?
Very basically, it had a slow beginning for like the first 30 minutes were a little bit slow, and then it picked up, and then it had like a really bad towards the climax section, and then I think it got good again.
Okay. To briefly summarize the Hulk movie, in case you haven't watched it in a while, it starts with our good old Bruce Banner in
Brazil?
Porto Verde?
Yeah.
In Brazil, working at a bottle factory.
And he kills Stan Lee with his blood.
Yeah, contrived shit happens.
Yeah.
The government finds him. They fight. He ends up in Guatemala. Then he goes back to the U.S. And then Abomination happens. And then they fight. And then the movie ends eventually after
you just skipped over a full
his ex
hour.
cheats on his girlfriend after an hour and 45 minutes.
You just skipped a full hour of the plot summary.
Not much happened in that hour.
Okay. You know what? That's fair.
I would like to say that my one of my first plot/writing comments for this film was I like Sesame Street too, because it's just like him sitting on the couch with his dog watching like Grover on Sesame Street trying to learn Portuguese. Yes. And it's just so good.
I mean, that is funny. I like that.
The little things in this movie, there are a few of them that are pretty funny. I enjoy like his sensei who's doing the like body belly worm to try and control the anger. That was very
vile.
Interesting. Yeah,
I was eating when that came on, and I was like, oh.
There was a solid 10 seconds of a man doing a belly worm, and it's like, okay.
Replace our normal end credits end screen with just looped footage of that, please, editor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's One thing I loved that I'll say now in the plot section,
Okay.
and well, it's writing. In modern Marvel, like just as a random example, Age of Ultron, we start in Sokovia, and we cut inside of the Hydra bunker, and we see two people who should be speaking, I'm assuming, Russian or some for whatever they speak in Sokovia, some Eastern European Cyrillic language. But instead they are speaking English with very thick accents.
Okay, yeah.
I really liked that all of the people in Brazil spoke Portuguese, and that the guy he met in Guatemala spoke Spanish, and that sometimes they didn't even subtitle it. Like, if he didn't know what was being said, we didn't know what was being said either. And I liked that. I thought that was cool.
See, that kind of goes into one of the things that I actually I did like about this movie. I kind of liked the opening of the movie. I thought it progressively got worse and worse. But like the way they had the dialogue and like him desperately trying to communicate with his people with vaguely knowing the language, like it gets some of the best bits in the movie. Like, you wouldn't like me when I'm hungry. Like that's hilarious. I love that. But the problem is it hides something that I think is like the biggest problem with this movie, is that the dialogue is so unnatural. It's so unnatural. Like when the people are talking to each other, it just does not sound like an actual conversation, and it's like it's worse because like I feel like in later Marvel movies you have the classic Marvel dialogue where it's this specific type of humor.
The Whedonisms of it.
Yeah, but like it's not even there yet. So like when they try to make like a one-liner, it just doesn't hit, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. When they're talking, they're at the worst point in this movie, and there's a lot of talking.
I'm actually gonna skip ahead into the character and the casting for just 1 second, and then we'll jump right back into plot.
Okay.
Dude, fucking Liv Tyler. Jesus. Horrible casting. She says she's either in a low whisper, so you can barely hear her, or she is screaming. And it's so bad. All of her writing is terrible. They clearly did not know how to write for women, and she clearly does not know how to act. It's
I'll wait. I'll hold my tongue on the acting the casting choices, because I thought the casting direction was I'll hold it. I'll hold it for now.
I was talking to my mom about it and said I felt so bad. People are gonna think I'm sexist because the only two casting choices I've had really, really negative thoughts about are Gwyneth Paltrow and Liv Tyler.
It's not our fault that they aren't good at that role.
It's not my fault that they can't write female characters. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna get to the first plot/writing point that I really had a problem with, and it is a theme that overarches throughout the entire movie. That bottle scene has got to be the most contrived nonsense I've ever seen. First of all, it breaks down and he has to go fix it. Like, why is he fixing it in the first place if he's trying to stay low? Like, his boss literally said, "You're too smart for this job. Like, if you're trying to lay low, why are you doing this?" He knows his blood is bad, so he's super careful. Like, he's wearing gloves in the scene before that. Food? Yeah, no, but like he's wearing gloves in the scenes before that. He's doing all this shit to try and avoid like doing anything bad or getting noticed at all. And he takes off his gloves to work on this thing. Somehow cuts himself. Then the blood miraculously falls through the floor and everything else, and somehow directly into the bloody bottle. How did he miss the bloody bottle? The floor moves with the bottles, so when he found the blood on the floor, the bottle right next to it had to have had the blood on it. How?
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get how he doesn't notice both of those.
Look, that is incredibly contrived, but when it comes to the setup for a movie, I'm willing to give it a little bit more leeway than I probably should.
I think I would be more willing to give it more leeway, but I just felt like it kind of kind of felt like that throughout the entire movie. You know, like where it's just like he kept getting these convenient like things.
The fact
happening.
that he just so happens to be friends with an elderly pizza shop owner, and then also it just so happens that the love of his life walks into the same fucking pizza shop like a day later.
Or it just so happens that he's able to somehow bribe a security guard with a pizza and then go upstairs and give a researcher another pizza, and then all of a sudden that researcher's like, okay, I guess you can access the entire database of our school.
We can't critique that scene because that was Lou Ferrigno as the security guard, and he was the Hulk in the 2003 movie, and it's cool and funny, and we can't. That's one of the best scenes in the movie.
Oh, okay, sure, whatever.
Can I say my biggest gripe with the writing? I laughed out loud when I heard it because I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Mm-hmm. At the very end of the movie, when Abomination is running through Harlem, and Bruce is like, "We have to turn the chopper around." And he's like, I gotta go down and do it. He says to Ross, "We made this. All of us." No, he fucking didn't. What do you mean? That's only Ross. How are you at fault for this, motherfucker? Excuse me? And why are you implicating Betty Ross in this too? What the fuck did she do? That's just such a nonsense line where it's like, it sounds cool if you're watching it for the first time and you're kind of not paying, like, super close attention, and you're like, whoa. But then you think about it, and you're like, no, wait, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it just, there's a lot of stuff that just is kind of like, what? Why? I don't necessarily love it. Like also, like, even like, in the scene where they, like, after the bottle scene, and they find him, and then they break in, he escapes, whatever, and they're like bolting through the streets, and these like fully armed guards are running past these extras, and the extras are just like, okay, that's interesting. Like, no one's freaking out, there's no like screaming or anything.
Like, the U.S. military does things, you know what, as every day goes by, this sentence becomes less and less true. The U.S. military, it does things in this movie that they should not legally be allowed to do. Like, what the fuck are you doing in a port town in Brazil?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have clearance for that.
Yeah. Why did they chase him to the factory? Like, did they just have to reuse scenes?
I don't know.
Why does hitting stuff in the factory turn on the emergency lights, and then the emergency lights start turning on the factory as a whole with all the bottles moving? That doesn't make sense.
I'll say a low light of the movie is any scene where Bruce Banner and Betty Ross are in the same room together. A highlight of the movie is any time Thaddeus Ross and Emil Blonsky are in the room together.
Oh, I have to disagree.
I loved, what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember his name. Who played
Tim
Blonsky?
Roth?
Tim Roth. I love Tim Roth in this movie.
You love Tim Roth in this movie.
I liked it, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm saving it for the next section.
I do like that the writers thought we wouldn't know he's evil if he killed one dog in Brazil, so they had to write a second dog for him to kill for no reason. Like, he killed two dogs.
He tranked the dog. He didn't kill the first dog. He tranked it.
Tranked it with fucking Hulk trank, though. There's no way that shit's not killing that dog instantly.
Oh.
They needed you to know that he was a bad guy, so they made him shoot two dogs within the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I guess. Speaking of the factory scene, though, here's a highlight. I really, really enjoyed how they were kind of like horror movieing the Hulk at first. Where, like, I thought that was really good, and this goes into some of the cinematography of it. They're just, like, very hiding him, only showing glances, and it was, like, building up for this awesome reveal, right? Like, and I was so ready
the university.
Okay, but they did, though. In the very last scene, where you have Emil Blonsky on the top of that like conveyor belt, and he's staring down at this monster, and then E-Boy Hulk turns around and just like looks at him, and they just kind of like stare at each other romantically for a few seconds. Like, is this doomed yaoi? Like, what is happening?
Not what I
here?
took away from that, but I guess.
But that's not even the only time that happens. Like, before that, in the chase scene with Thaddeus, where Thaddeus just randomly gets out of the car to stare at Bruce. Right? And then, like, there's so many scenes of Bruce and Betty just, like, staring at each other for, like, 6 seconds while the music is really loud, and it just cuts back in between their faces like it's some One Piece shit. Like, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me, I know. Yeah, no. Any scene with Betty Ross in it. And you know what? It would be such a shame, you know? Which is why I'm glad that it totally happened. It would be such a shame if they wrote this whole movie and then made a major part of the back half of it this malformed romance plot between two characters that we barely even know, and then one of them was just never mentioned ever again for any reason. Man, that would suck. It's a really good thing that Liv Tyler's interpretation of Betty Ross went on to have many, many appearances in later films. Because if she didn't, and she was never in any movie or show ever again beyond this, that would be really stupid, huh?
Why did they do that?
Because she fucking sucked.
Did she just not like it was just she was bad? Or was
I don't think she wanted to do it.
She just didn't want to do it.
I think that now... No, one more thing that I want to say is that there were... I think this movie is carried by hype moments and aura. Because every frame of the fight scene between the Hulk and the military men at the university campus, I think, is fucking peak.
Okay, yeah, I like that scene.
I like laughed out loud because I completely forgot about it when Blonsky walks up and is like, "Is that all you got?" And the Hulk just like frame one low kicks him and his skeleton melts immediately. That's like so fucking funny.
It is good. That is good.
He just like there's not even any swing time between when his foot is planted on the ground and in this man's chest, and it's so good. That it's so funny to me. And then it cuts back to Ross, and he's like fucking like, oh shit. And it's like, what the fuck? What do you expect?
I did like how cold Ross was. Ross was like, you know, like just like did not really care that much. Was like, I guess he died. Whatever.
We'll use that as a way to segue into the casting and the characters.
No, wait. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Go off, King.
Done. Dude, I am never done.
You've got
with this
more
movie.
to complain about?
I have so much more to complain about. Okay, why does Bruce set up a picture of Betty to type to Blue?
I didn't even consider that. Wow.
He sets up this picture of Betty to type to Mr. Blue, and that's just so freaky to me. His name is Mr. Green. That's funny.
I do want to say one more thing with the writing, I guess.
Yeah.
As well.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All of the text stuff with Mr. Blue.
Oh, okay.
I was not a fan of the way that they wrote in text form. I do like that he used emoticon. I thought that was funny. I didn't like it as in, like, that's a clever choice. I liked it in a, are you shitting me kind of way. When we meet the real guy and the actor and the character, I really like how, like, frantic and hopelessly naive and borderline stupid this guy is. I really thought that he was a fun character to watch.
I actually really liked that as well. I liked how Mr. Blue talked, how, what's his name, Samuel Stearns, how Samuel Stearns talked, both in typing and when we actually got to him. It's pretty funny. Like, he's constantly complaining, like, as someone who's doing their honors thesis right now, he's constantly complaining about, like, graduate students fucking around with the machinery, and then like he's also like when he's like Abomination is trying to get the serum, he's like, I'm just trying to get informed consent.
I love that, where he's like, I don't know what kind of chemicals you got in your body, and he grabs him with the throat and he's like, I didn't say no. It was really funny. I like him as a character.
No, I thought it was like he does Mad Scientist really well. I will say his typing speed is like 4,000 words per minute.
Yeah, well, you look at him, he's very clearly like fucking overdosing on his Adderall prescription.
But like Bruce will type a message and it'll be like normal, like 50 to 70 words per minute, and then instantly 2-sentence reply, no hesitation, within a millisecond.
Yeah, this
like
dude,
he's like an AI chatbot or something. Like it's
this
crazy.
dude is fucking intravenous coffee. There's no way. He's like,
I don't know.
It was a genuinely like cool moment that I don't think I considered when I was a kid, when I watched it the first time, but I appreciate it now. They like talk a lot about his blood pressure in the writing and his heart rate. Mm-hmm. Like blood is a very common theme throughout this. It's obviously the inciting incident, however contrived you think that is. Mm-hmm. And they make his like heart rate monitor part of the soundtrack at times. It's really focusing on his blood specifically and how dangerous that is. And then he's just like, I'm finally cured. I got this out of my blood. And he's like, yeah, hey, check this shit out. And he opens a door with fucking a full room of like hundreds of blood bags. I was like, oh shit, that's actually like good visual storytelling.
Yeah, and it's just like actually horrifying. Like it shows you Samuel's character so well.
Stupid he is.
Like how insane he is, and how like even the quote he has where I forget it word for word, but it's like, I've always been the one to shy on the side of curiosity rather than precaution or caution or something. And I was like, damn, that's just fire. That's fire. As a kid.
Yeah, he is like a mad scientist, and he's like a cartoon character.
He's definitely the highlight of the writing, and for me also acting. Okay, but before we get into acting, because I like acting.
Yeah.
Here are my nitpicks. Nitpicks.
Those weren't the nitpicks?
No.
We're getting to those now?
We're getting to those now.
Oh my god.
In the scene where he's riding a bike, he rings a bike bell multiple times. His hand is not moving. There's not even a bell on the bike.
So this is your Obadiah Stane drank from the cup too early moment.
Yes. No, there's no bell on the bike. He rings the bell on the bike without moving his hand, and it's not even there. I don't understand that one. What is a cryptnet? Why does that exist? Why does it just like he can log in on his computer and it's there and it's not being tracked? Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
When they're chasing him on the university campus, when he's with Betty, he runs away, and then immediately a car plows through 2 parked cars for no reason. Like, they could have just driven around the cars. Instead, they just bursted through 2 parked cars for fun, I guess.
That's awesome.
Thaddeus says, he's like all grumpy and goes, where's the... And then it's like, artillery, grenades, bombs, whatever. He does that like 6 times in the movie. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What the hell?
Yeah.
And I like he's just like why is all the military going in one by one constantly? Like, why is it never coordinated at all? Like the entire time it's that's where's the this? Why'd they go in early? Why is it like it's so contrived to create an extended situation?
I don't think it's fair to blame this movie for this though, because that remains a problem every time the Hulk is on screen in the entirety of the MCU.
This is true.
Like when they're in Ultron, and the police in, I think it's West Africa, unspecified coastal city, just start shooting at him for no reason. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you not know who this is? Your bullets aren't gonna fucking work, dude. Just don't do this.
Yeah, no. It's very true. Okay, you want to take us into acting, characters,
Yes.
casting, character design?
I'll give my positive opinions before you fucking tear me a new one.
Okay, okay.
Going to the cast, first of all, William Hurt, national treasure, rest in peace. Brilliant choice for Ross, especially in the later movies. I think he's really, really good as the character. This is where we're getting Liv Tyler. Obviously, I've said my piece on her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. This is where we get controversial. I think Ed Norton was not bad. I liked him fine. I think his face works better for the Hulk than Mark Ruffalo's does.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his voice worked better as well. I think he could do the Hulk voice better. I already forget his name. Emil Blonsky. Tim Roth. I love him. He is like a fucking cartoon supervillain. He is just such a cunt, honestly. Throughout the whole movie, he just like radiates fucking piece of shithead energy. He's so good as an antagonist.
Okay.
That's my piece. So I think the casting. Well, Ed Norton was fine. Honestly, I wish going forward they kept Ed Norton as the Hulk, but then changed Bruce Banner to Mark Ruffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say the costume design was a little weird. Like the fact that Bruce Banner always wore like t-shirts and baggy sweaters and fucking flat brim caps and fucking like baseball caps. I don't understand why that was the choice. It's not really fitting, but sure.
See, I think it's really funny because I actually kind of have the opposite opinions of you mostly. Like Liv Tyler, obviously terrible for Betty Ross. The between Liv Tyler and Edward Norton, their chemistry was non-existent. I thought Tim Roth's acting itself was terrible. I enjoyed how cartoonishly evil he was, but Tim Roth would go from talking to screaming to talking to high emotion to no emotion, like in the span of a sentence, and it really just felt weird and like awkward. Like especially between that's the conversation between Blonsky and Thaddeus when like directly after the first round of fighting between Bruce and Emil. Like he just like seems so all over the place, and I get he's kind of supposed to be like mentally unstable, but it's just like it feels more awkward.
It's a really on the nose way of portraying that, and I'm willing to bet that's more a directorial problem than an acting problem.
Fair enough. I think Edward Norton, if he was a better actor, would be by far the better Bruce Banner. I think visually, that's what, when I imagine Bruce Banner, he is a scrawny, skinny little dude who randomly hawks out. He's very good at playing that like weirdo nerd vibe more than Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo kind of feels too distinguished scientist. He's a little too big for Bruce for me. The thing is, Mark Ruffalo is 10 times the actor Edward Norton is, at least in this film. But like I do like how Edward Norton looks way more than I like how Mark Ruffalo looks.
Here's my single point of disagreement on that. I didn't buy Ed Norton as Banner because he's too confident. He stands up too straight, and he like looks like he has it together too much for me. Like Mark Ruffalo is really good at like stammering and being hunched over and like acting like he is out of place in any room, and I think that fits the character far more. I just think he's too I think he's too confident. I think he's too self-assured.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. I even the like sweaters and hat thing, I kind of digged it because it's like, what if I Hulk out? I want to have clothes, and it's also like I'm trying to hide from the government, so I need to shape my face and body differently with the baggy clothes and hat and hide things. So I thought that was like smart. I enjoyed it, but he could have went further into the insecure nerd aspect.
Absolutely,
that is true. He could have went further into it.
I did forget what I was going to say right now, but if I keep talking like I'm making a point about the movie, I'm hoping that you won't notice and you'll just play it off.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, as we said, Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, wonderful casting choice. He acted it pretty well. The writing was good. Something I thought was funny, I just want to talk about Ty Burrell, Modern Family Guy.
Oh yeah, I wrote in my notes. Phil Dunphy jump scare.
He actually does play the boyfriend well. I think he is a good actor, and it kind of makes sense for him to be like kind of like a soft boy shrink in this. Yeah. It's funny.
His only purpose was to get cucked.
Yeah, but like, what the hell, man? Why
dirty?
Why do they write Betty like that? Like, why is she is so willing to cheat on her boyfriend. She's wants to so bad.
And you know what's crazy is I don't think the movie even acknowledges that it's cheating.
No, they don't.
Like, the second that fucking Ross leaves his house and he gives his little, like, I used to wonder why she never talked about you speech, it's like he just fucking stops existing. He served his purpose, and he's done now.
Yeah, but, like, it's not even that she wants to cheat on him with Bruce. It's very clear she wants the Hulk, you know?
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
She wants the Hulk. She wants the Hulk D. It's weird. I don't get it. Oh, okay, wait. Also, I'm a power scale Betty here. Betty was running at the same speed as the military vehicles and also knocked the fuck out of a soldier.
Oh, that's true.
That was funny as hell. Her sprinting behind a car looking like she's running the exact same speed. Then the soldiers try to grab her, she just elbows one and knocks him out clean. Like, that was crazy.
But it's good.
It is good. I did enjoy it.
There's so many plot contrivances that it starts to kind of overtake it at a point.
Yeah. As for, like, character design, I do like, there's something wrong with the Hulk's hair in this movie.
Yeah.
The E-Boy Hulk, he feels a little strange. But Abomination's design is great. I love Abomination's design. Excluding the CGI, just, like, from a design perspective, I liked Abomination's design. I thought it looked cool.
Really didn't like it when I was a kid, but I love it now. I really love... This is just like dipping toe into the CGI section right now. The fucking body horror elements of this movie cannot be ignored.
No.
Like, oh my god. When they're showing Hulk on the table and they're injecting the antidote into him, holy shit.
Yeah.
And when Blonsky's in the bathroom, when he's in the bathroom and is like, it's like, oh.
Even Samuel Stern's head growing a little bit, his brain. Like, also, that's a fun little hint at what he's to become. But, like, it's just like, ugh.
Well, at the time, it was just like a throwaway Easter egg. It was just like here's a reference for all the comic book nerds.
Gamma brain.
Fucking the leader.
Yes, I'm willing to move on to directing cinematography CGI.
CGI. I want to say.
Do you want CGI first? You want CGI first?
I just want to do CGI. I just want to be positive for a second.
Okay.
I said this out loud when I was watching the movie. How the fuck does the Hulk movie Hulk look better than the Endgame Hulk? Like, so real. The fucking muscle definition they give him, the fucking, you can see the sweat when he's fighting sometimes. It looks so good. I
do really like the Hulk CGI. I think the Hulk CGI, other than when they, like, zoom in on his face, I think something's wrong with the hair and the eyes. It's just fucking weird. Yeah. But, like, his body and his fighting scenes are great. I think the best fight was when Emil was super soldiered, but not the Abomination yet, and they were fighting Hulk versus Super Soldier. That was done really way better than I thought they could do for 2008. You know, like I thought that was kind of insane. But I will say the Hulk CGI does get bad when, for some reason, whenever he interacts with Betty, it immediately gets way worse. Like the scene where he's protecting Betty at the end of that.
Well, it's
like
because
end of that fight.
Exactly
it just
why.
Looks so terrible.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because when he's dealing with the trucks and the super soldier, or the soldiers in full army gear with helmets on, you don't need real actors there. That can all be CG actors in a program. So you're just having CG. Basically, you're just bashing dolls together. But when you're doing it with Liv Tyler, she's a real actor interacting with a CG element. That's a lot harder to pull off. So it's a lot harder to look good, especially in 2008.
I thought when Emil was fighting Hulk, it looked great, but I guess he probably had a CG body and his face was normal or something like that. But like, I don't know. I thought it looked good, and then they started interacting with Liv Tyler, and it was awful.
Yeah. You know what? If she was not in the movie, it would have been... That's what I wanted to say earlier. Fuck. We moved on from plot too early. But the thing I wanted to say is it starts out really strong. I really like how it just jumps right in. The fucking... I'm shocked. We're 30 minutes into this conversation. Nobody's talked about the opening montage yet.
Okay, wait, no, I was saving it for directing and cinematography. I was saving it for that.
Okay, we'll save that. We'll save it. I do like that it jumps right in. I do like that they use the credit.
After that.
I do like that they use it to, like, establish what's going on. Well, I like that after that, it just gets right into it. There's no half the movie is Tony Stark in a cave this time. They just jump right in with, he's the Hulk, he's here. And I kind of respect it. I kind of like it. It's good in the beginning, and then it slows down pretty fast. And then I think it gets a lot better when they're talking, Banner's getting into the university, they're learning about all this stuff before Betty shows up. And then I think Betty shows up and the pacing just fucking tanks so hard. Like everything after the university scene, I completely forgot about because it should have just been cut. There's just like 20 minutes of fucking Bruce Banner and Betty Ross fucking around in New York City for some reason.
Yeah.
And then you get to the fight, or you get to the scene where they meet up with Stern and do the cure thing, and I think it starts to pick up again, and I think it has a pretty solid ending. But there is like a retention where like it dips towards the beginning and then it peaks back up and then it fucking nosedives for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting choice for sure. Speaking of the beginning, for doing directing and cinematography, why the actual fuck was the intro scene 3 minutes long of just like flashing between like words and on documents and experiments? Like it feels like so like I don't like when someone exposits to me like monologue, but that's not how you solve that issue, you know?
Well, it's also really tough because it's the problem of Hulk is popular among a certain audience. And also, there was a Hulk movie that explained his backstory less than a decade ago.
2001?
2003.
Oh.
Was the Ang Lee Hulk movie, and then 2008 was the new Hulk movie. So there was like... It was the Spider-Man problem, where it's like, the fuck do we do about that? But they still had to explain it. Early MCU, you couldn't just introduce a character. You had to do an origin story. You had to do a backstory. That's just how it was. So how they handled it, I think, is honestly probably the best way of handling it, but it's still cringe.
I don't know. Moving on, this is something I'm not sure if I actually like or not, but there are a lot of big cinematic drone shots or big panning shots where they pan over scenes.
A lot of establishing shots.
There's a lot. Like, the first big cinematic drone shot of Porto Verde, Brazil, was beautiful. Like, it is a gorgeous shot, and I kind of liked it. Shows where he is, like, it's cool. But, like, they do it a few times in scenarios where they don't necessarily have to, and that kind of like goes in with the long dramatic staring scenes back and forth. Like, it just feels kind of weird sometimes how drawn out the cinematography makes the scenes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's definitely a lot could have been cut. I'm not even gonna like front like it's fine. Like, a lot could have been.
I didn't like the days without incident. I thought that was dumb.
I don't agree.
I know, like, the 2 months later in the corner is overdone, but, like, the 60 days without incident, and at the very end where he activates the Hulk on purpose and you watch it drop to zero, like,
and he like fucking smirks. That's so fucking stupid.
It's so cringe, and it makes me dislike it even more.
It's so fucking dumb. I hated that.
It's so
because
weird.
It doesn't lead into the next film at all.
Oh, I will say, that reminded me, there's the three things that CGI I thought was really terrible, because I did really like the Hulk CGI, and a lot of the fighting CGI I thought was cool. Any close-ups on his face, and specifically his eyes, like the CGI of his eyes made me so violently uncomfortable, and I'm not sure why.
I don't know.
The CGI of his blood
fine from my perspective.
I don't know. His eyes just looked so strange to me. It was like Uncanny Valley, and I didn't like it. The CGI of his blood in that bottle scene that I hate was dumb. And then Abomination's CGI I thought was bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know.
I thought, like, the Hulk's movement looked great, and then his fighting looked great, but then when they started fighting, I thought the CGI kind of went downhill, and I don't know if it was the Abomination's color scheme or the fact that he was talking more and was more visibly on screen in the light, but it just looked strange and fake.
Yeah, I'll tell. Here's my biggest complaint. Here's my biggest complaint about the final fight, not the whole movie, but the final fight specifically. You've seen hit film Zack Snyder's classic Man of Steel. We all love Man of Steel. It's everyone's favorite movie. Everybody loves Man of Steel. We actually haven't seen Man of Steel?
No, I actually haven't.
Okay, it's fine. Anyway, the problem with the fight scene at the end of that movie is there was no real battle damage. Like, it was just two gods fist-fighting each other and destroying half of a city. And you could argue the thing that makes it, like, not insufferable, which I disagree with, but people say the part that makes it not insufferable is how much fucking collateral damage there is from this fight.
Yeah.
And I think Hulk suffers from the same problem, except I don't think there's enough collateral damage to make up for it. Like, it only starts getting good when both of them start getting visibly tired and taking damage, and when the Hulk gets stabbed. I was like, whoa, okay. It's actually getting serious now.
I'm not gonna lie, the only note I have written down about the final scene was that the clap was badass.
That was cool. That was fucking awesome.
Just the clap that blows away the fire on the helicopter. Like, that was cool.
I did see an edit of the scene where instead of clapping, he turns around and claps his ass cheeks. That was pretty awesome.
They should have put that in the
They should have put that in the She-Hulk movie where she clapped and then he said, "Watch this." Fucking holy shit.
Do you have anything else you want to say about directing, cinematography, or CGI?
I thought a lot of the cinematography was actually kind of flat.
Yeah.
Like, especially coming off of Iron Man, where they got, like, experimental with it sometimes. Like, it was nothing major. But some of the cinematography in Iron Man, it was all very flatly lit, except the cave scenes. But they did interesting stuff with the camera work, especially when he was in the suit. I feel like Hulk, outside of the first two Hulk scenes where they're keeping his face hidden, like his whole face, where they're keeping that hidden and they're shooting it like a horror scene, there's not like a lot of super interesting camera work. Although I will say, I think the scene in the factory where he's just fucking destroying the shadows, I fucking love that scene.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I think it's really good.
I think like Iron Man, my favorite part of this movie is the opening 30-45 minutes. I thought it was done well. I liked him in Brazil. It was cool. I liked Tony in the cave. It was cool. It was a good way of doing it. And like a lot of the time with this directing and cinematography, they did it so well to like build up to a scene, like build up to the reveal of Hulk, build up to the Iron Man. And in Iron Man's case, they built up to this scene and it was awesome and it delivered and I thought it was sick. But in this case, I thought in Hulk they did all these long establishing shots and all of this very cool like hiding it and like playing it almost like a horror movie, and then the payoff just wasn't that cool to me. Like just him, like it was just too many long dramatic staring scenes. I hated the long dramatic staring scenes, whether it was between Bruce and Betty, or it was between Hulk and Emil, or if it was between anybody. I just didn't like any of them. They shouldn't have just been staring at each other that much.
If I was seeing it for the first time and they had cut all of the Betty Ross stuff leading up to that point, if they made it just like a little bit shorter in general, I think when we got to the point where they're at the university, burst through, and they finally show like his whole face in broad daylight, I think I would have been like, holy shit, that's cool, what the fuck? Because I kind of was when I was a kid. That's the only scene I remember from that movie, because it was like, whoa.
Yeah, playing it off like he's a proper scary monster would have been cool, and it just feels like I got edged, to no finish. I'm gooning over here watching Hulk.
Fucking stop. What's your problem?
Speaking of gooning, you want to move on to metaphor, symbolism, and meaning?
Yeah. I think I had something else to say, but I can't remember what it was, so I'll get to it in the miscellaneous thoughts section if I remember.
Do you have anything to say about metaphors in this movie?
I did
and
not.
Symbolism?
I did. It was
I have
very flatly shot. It was very plain. There was not a lot of like imagery or iconography that they called back to. That's what it was. I just remembered the scene where he's getting the super soldier serum. First of all, the several Stark Industries references and the fact that they referenced the super soldier serum program that was put on ice back in the 40s, I clapped like a seal. I was like, oh, I know that guy. That's Captain America. It was really cool. I do like how organically they were weaved in. Like if you were watching this movie in theaters and you didn't know what was coming up, it would just be like, oh, that's just like throwaway world building. I thought that was really cool. Second, when he's actually getting the serum and they're zooming in on his face while he's like sandwiched in the operating table, he like makes a face and starts like breathing heavy, and then his whole like body jolts and he makes another face, and my only thought was, it looks like they're trying to convey he just got something shoved up his ass. And I know that's not the intent, but it looked so much like he was getting fucked in that moment. I was like, this, okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're right. You're correct.
I'm always right.
Okay. My 3 metaphors, symbolism, and meaning.
Yeah.
One is more so just kind of like motif. I thought like you said earlier, the digital beeping watch with his heart rate monitor on it, that being a motif in stressful situations where the beeping got slowly faster also kind of like filled like the watcher with like, you know, like it created tension. I kind of thought it was cool. I wish they didn't constantly show us checking the watch. Like, I wish they gave us like the mental fortitude that we can assume that it's the heart rate monitor. He doesn't. They should have put it on screen. Look at it.
They should have put heart rate and then showed it on screen.
I think it was also kind of weird that it was exactly 200 beats per minute that made him transform, but I'm like willing to contain it because it was like, you know, like Mob Psycho 100 where it slowly counts up to 100. Mm-hmm. That is cool objectively in that show, and I think that's what they were going for, and I kind of get it, but I did just like the digital beeping watch motif. That was cool.
Yeah, it's. I think it took away from the motif a little bit when they used it when he was having sex. I could have done without that one, but
yeah, they could have done without that one. Yeah, Betty really did want. She was like, "Well, it's okay, I don't mind." Yeah, she wanted him to Hulk out inside her. Apparently,
I don't think that's what they were going for, but sure.
Anyway, there's definitely something to be said about the government owning the bodies of soldiers in this movie. Is definitely something that they slightly touch upon. Especially Thaddeus's character near the beginning with Emil, like he says, as far as I'm concerned, his entire body is military property or whatever. Like that's
this property of the U.S. government.
They didn't go into it, but I think if they went into it, it could have been cool, and it could have said something actually about our own soldiers and stuff like that. But they didn't really focus on it too much. But I thought it was interesting that they even kind of touched upon it in a Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah, and it's a theme that will never come up again. They just never talk about the military-industrial complex in any compelling way beyond this point, except kind of Civil War, kind of.
Yeah, only a little bit. They like, kind of do it in Iron Man 2 with, like, owning the Iron Man weapon, but, like, still not even really.
Yeah.
Because it like they do the same. Well, like, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
And the only other metaphor, symbolism, meaning that I can actually derive from this movie, and maybe I'm pulling here, Betty. I think they were really trying to have her go through massive character development from this innocent, like, young girl into someone who's willing to stand up against her father and run away. Right?
Yeah.
I think they were trying to go for that. And if you look in all of the scenes before the campus fight, right? She is wearing white. She's in the rain with a white shirt on. I did notice
she was in the rain with a white shirt, and I was like, I wonder why they put Liv Tyler in a white shirt for this scene.
Yeah, true. But she's in bed with a white lace bra on for sleeping. And then out the next day, she's got a white coat on. And then when they fight... and she stands up to Thaddeus and then runs out and almost gets herself killed. The white coat burns, and then for the rest of the movie, she is only wearing black. Or dark blue.
That didn't click in my mind, but it does make sense.
Like, I think, I don't know if it was on purpose, maybe it was an accident, but, like, it does kind of show, it's the exact turning point where her white coat is burned to gray and black, and she gives it to Bruce when he's in the cave, too. And then she's shown in dark blue and black for the rest of the film as she is taking a more leading role in helping Bruce, fight back against her dad. So, like, I was like, that was kind of like, I'm happy that I caught that, and I'm not sure if it was on purpose, but it was kind of interesting. I just wish they actually maybe filled out her character more, didn't make her so willing to cheat on her boyfriend.
Yeah. No, I would cheat on Phil Dunphy too.
Yeah,
this is a canonical.
The white innocence trope is also low key. I'm not a fan of white being used as innocence, especially on women in general. But like the white coat then being burned is kind of badass. I will say.
Well, it's also like, even though. Like, that symbol didn't start bad, right? It was just literally about color, and then it became something a little more unsavory with,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's been around for centuries, and it's very hard to buck such obvious and very easy to understand visual metaphor.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you know this, but everything has color. kind of an important thing, you know.
I'm good to move on. Do we want to go MISC first, or do we want to talk about other stuff?
I don't think there's a lot to talk about for the MCU category because it doesn't really
matter at all.
It doesn't.
Thaddeus matters.
Ross comes back quite a bit, and Blonsky came back. Everything about this movie that is super impactful.
Samuel Stern comes back.
Unfortunately. Everything about this movie that matters to the MCU doesn't come up until quite a bit later. To the point where some people were arguing whether or not it should be seen as a canonical entry or not.
Yeah, arguably you don't need to watch this movie to understand the MCU at all. But for nostalgia purposes, this being the first MCU film I ever watched,
this was oh no.
Yeah, I know. This is my first ever MCU film. I just think you should watch it just to see how far we've come, at least.
Yeah. Well, my final conclusion really is that I think it's better than I was imagining it in my mind. Because I was imagining it's like, oh, up there as one of the worst MCU movies. Dude, it doesn't even fucking come close. Okay, it's not even it's not in contention.
No, it isn't.
It's like up there with it's how I feel about Captain Marvel, where it's like, I honestly don't even know why I had such a fucking hate boner for this movie, because it's fine. It's like not great, but it's like fine. Iron Man is a movie you can pay attention to and enjoy. Hulk is really a movie where you just kind of turn your brain off and watch a dumb movie for a little bit. It's like a time filler, and that's fine.
Yeah, there's like, it's not
a lot
terrible,
of the shit,
but it's not good. It's pretty. It's bad, but it's
a lot of the shit that made Hulk stand out is kind of standard in the industry today. Like the CGI quality. You could tell when they did like the blood dropping through the floor shot where it follows it unbroken. Like that was majorly impressive that they did that in 2008. But it's not 2008 anymore.
Dumb.
It's nearly 20 years later, and you can do that pretty easy with movie programs.
Yeah.
So it's if we were watching it in 2008, I feel like I would have been like, yo, this shit fucking slaps. But the fact that we have the added context of what came after, it's like, it's fine.
Stan Lee got Gamma poisoned.
That was a really good cameo. I really like.
You like this cameo?
I like that he drank from the bottle and said, "Whoa," and then died. That was really funny.
Whoa! Instantly dead on the floor. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Definitely better than the Iron Man one where he's just Hugh Hefner.
He doesn't even say anything.
No.
It's a good post credit scene.
Tony pulls up, talks to Ross.
Didn't like it at the time. Well, I liked it at the time because it was like, whoa, I know that guy. But then I thought about it more and was like, I don't know if that actually makes sense. Like, why would he go talking to Ross like he has the Hulk, all this stuff? It doesn't make sense, especially with the ending of Iron Man 2, blah, 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 blah. All the fucking cringe nerd shit. And then we are going to do a special episode that's going to be like 20 minutes long max, where we talk about the one-shots that were made. When the Phase 1 movies all came out on Blu-ray, they included like 2 to 5 minute shorts called one-shots. And they made one called The Consultant that kind of retcons it, where the whole premise, the whole crux of the short is that S.H.I.E.L.D. directors are trying to force them to get Blonsky as an Avenger, and they don't want him, so they choose Tony Stark as a consultant to go talk to Ross to piss him off so much that he won't give them the Abomination.
Yeah.
And that's funny. That reframes it in a way that I really like.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Fair enough.
I do think it's funny because it's very obvious that William Hurt is, like, shit-faced in that scene. Like, he's so fucking, like...
He was so good.
He's so good at playing a drunk. It's really funny.
He's awesome. He is awesome.
That was really good when Tony was like, I've heard you got an unusual problem. And then he leans back and, like bug-eyed, like, you're one to talk. It was really funny.
Yeah. And then he looks at him, he's like, always with the suits, huh? Because he's wearing a suit.
He always wears such nice suits. It's such a good scene. It's iconic, honestly.
He's funny. He's funny. I like him. I like him.
It's one of the iconic post-credit scenes.
Yeah. But
I don't know if it's good, but it definitely... If we're going off of... how are we scaling quality? Like, what curve are we grading on?
I think I would give this movie 2 people romantically staring at each other, doomed yaoi attention, out of 5.
Out of 5? 2 out of 5?
Yeah.
I would give it 5 big...
Booms.
No, I can't.
Boom! Boom!
I can't. I'm in too deep. I can't think of anything else to say at this point. I have to say it. 5 big Hulk cocks out of 10.
Out of 10. 5 out of 10.
How would you compare it if you were to put this and Iron Man on like a list, hypothetically, that had tiers?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if there's a word for that. What would you where would you put, would you think it's better than Iron Man, or out of the 2 movies we've seen so far, which one is better?
Considering I think Iron Man is one of the best Marvel movies of all time.
Yeah.
I think this is nowhere even close. I would give Iron Man easy 4 out of 5 stars. And this movie is an easy 2 out of 5. It's not like an abomination to watch. It's watchable. You could watch it. You could have a good time with it. It's just nothing special. It's going to be boring. And it's going to have a couple hype moments that are going to keep you at least a little interested. But it's nothing to write home about.
You know what? I don't know if it would be good if you're high. That shit would probably slap if you were drunk.
Yeah, probably.
If you were drunk, you could just like space out for a little bit during the boring scenes, and then the fights would come on and be like, yo, fucking yeah.
Hulk would clap and you would cheer, standing ovation.
Hell yeah. Well, that's what happened.
Alright.
Oh my god. Yeah, I would put that as a, so it's the second best movie so far.
Second best movie we've watched. This is true.
Yeah. I did, in the description of the Iron Man video, I did put a link to an IMDb page that was every movie that we've watched so far in order, and the only one was Iron Man. And that's a bit that nobody but me will find funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well, I found it funny because I started like sending it to people on Discord and be like, what do you think of our ranking so far?
Are we ranking them?
Yeah, I'm probably going to put up a little graphic with a bunch of arrows that's like an arrow pointing best to worst, and we're going to put them in a big line. So okay, I think right. Hulk worst, Iron Man best. And I think... God, I'm dreading Captain America. I don't know how you feel with Captain America.
I thought I liked Captain America, but I'll have to watch it again.
We will have to watch it again. I'll share with you while we're recording, but just before we go, the outline for what's gonna happen for what I consider season 1 of the podcast, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do all of phase 1, which is everything from Iron Man to the first Avengers movie. And then I want to do a special where we watch all 3 Sam Raimi Spider-Man films.
Okay.
And talk about all 3 of them in one episode. Which might be hell to do, honestly. But we'll see.
Yeah, that might have to be a long episode. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot to say about Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
Well, there's a lot to say about it.
I love
Alfred Molina, National Treasure.
Okay. All right. That's fine by me.
Okay. Any closing thoughts?
Do you want to do an outro?
Okay,
sorry. No, I did my final argument. My final argument for why I think it's a 2 out of 5.
It's a 2 out of 5.
Just slightly below average.
Put up 2... I can't... Fuck. There's something wrong with my brain. I can't think of anything to say other than fucking Hulk penis.
2 people awkwardly staring at each other out of 5.
2 brooding emo Hulks with like comically large bulge, like the gay furry art.
What the fuck?
2, the image of Luigi from the back where he's like pumping iron, but he's also got like a massive cock where it says "Life's a bitch." 2 of those out of 10.
2 Mario Goatsies out of 10.
What the fuck is wrong with you? That's deranged.
How is that worse?
You've crossed a line. How's that worse than Luigi with a big dick? What are you talking about? We're getting off topic.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. That's this week's episode of Marvelocity. Tune in next week, and maybe we'll make a Family Guy cutaway gag.
Tune in next week when we talk about everybody's favorite...